we had a slow start. I think we might have had the lead the whole game, but I felt like we just weren't finishing well. The flow wasn't great to start. We're getting good looks, but I really thought things changed when we did bring in some players from our bench. They really gave us a great spark, so that was awesome to see. Lydia played really well. Tessa played really well for us. Kate, Soraya, so all those players came in and contributed. Emma, so I was just really happy to see the bench contribution and everyone playing really confidently. And from top to bottom, everybody executing defensively, making them take tough shots. So yeah, I was happy with our performance, and I did feel like we had a good performance in general, but I wouldn't say from the tip I was like, we got this. But was happy with how everybody came in and executed.
Yeah, one of those, several players, I guess, off the bench really contributed some minutes in that second half. And how much do you think it helps some of their confidence moving forward into the year?
I think it helps our team in general to be able to go deep into our bench and see success. So it really helps those players that maybe haven't gotten a ton of minutes or consistent minutes to know that they can come in and score against a good team. They can come in and get stops against really good athletes. But I also think it helps just our team because we're able to be a little bit more rested. Everyone got to play, that 10 to 20 minutes. So keeping everybody nice and healthy and fresh moving into the end of the season here is huge.
Yeah, on the defensive side of the ball, it seemed like, in the first half, you guys were able to hold their top scorers way under double figures. What were the things that went into making sure you could do that?
I was happy with our defensive performance, again, from top to bottom. The big point of emphasis was taking away 32 Dashaw. We saw her get to the rim still a fair amount and create contact. She's just a really physical guard. I think we were there in help. Sometimes she stepped around us. Sometimes we tried to take charges and didn't get called, which that's just how she plays, and that's how she creates a lot at the rim. But that was our point of emphasis, to try to take that away. And in general, we were there, so at least when she made them, they were still really contested shots. And then Hurd as well. I thought most of her jumpers were really contested, and we did a good job on her too.
At different points in the game, different players got hot from the three-point line as well. What were you doing to create those open looks?
They were switching quite a few screens, so it was kind of trying to just create confusion by having a lot of movement, screening action. We got a lot of good dives at the rim, and people were posting up hard, and that opened up our perimeter, and that's going to be huge for our offense just moving forward if we're not shooting it well, that we do get a post presence, and Kate did a great job getting to the basket, and her being aggressive is so huge for us because she finishes it so well around the basket. But I thought that opened up some threes for people. We got some looks in transition. But yeah, once somebody hits it, then it helps everybody else have a little more confidence too.
I haven't looked at it, but it's definitely one of the biggest advantages of the year you've had in rebounding today, and also 13 on the offensive glass. How much did that contribute to your success?
Rebounding is so huge in every game. I think it creates extra opportunities. It takes away opportunities from the other team. I said this in multiple interviews, but I think it's a huge toughness and heart thing, rebounding. So to see us win on the glass big, even though they're a long athletic team, I think says a lot just about the urgency that we played with the heart that we played with. So it was great to see us win that stat by a large amount.
One of the younger players that did come off the bench and have success as well is Soraya, and she's clearly one of the future stars of this team, if not already. What does she bring to the table for you?
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. She has a high ceiling. She's very shifty herself. Is a good athlete and can get to the rim, but she doesn't force. Sometimes I wish she was more aggressive looking to score, but she's also a really good passer, and that makes her really good because when she is looking to score, she can create for others and make good decisions off of screens, off of cuts, off the ball screen. But she's also a really good defender. With her athleticism, she's able to keep some good guards in front and still contest threes. She tends to be in foul trouble, so we got to work on that. But overall, yeah, she is a good player for us, and she's going to be a really good player for us.
Caitlin Meister went 7 for 11 from the floor today, and she's coming off the bench as well. I mean, when you're looking at potentially making the playoff run here, how important is having depth in scoring like that?
Having depth is super critical, and to see Kate being aggressive right now is really important for our offense, and we've talked about that a bit because she's been in the starting lineup, out of it, and that can do a lot to your confidence, but I think she's been really steady no matter what, starting or 9. She could easily be a starter. I mean, we have a lot of good players. I feel like I could start 9 players. So I think having that depth is huge, and I think her looking to score more. I don't know if she's taken 11 shots in a game ever for a long time, and she finishes at such a high percentage. That is what we need, especially with teams that switch, where she can have an advantage finishing at the basket, but she also hit her open 3 in transition, and she's been looking for that. So she's a really good player for us. Another one that you probably don't see the stats, but defensively she affects the game with her length. She's got long arms. She can guard 1 through 4, 1 through 5 even, and does everything for us.
You have another really difficult opponent coming here in Parkside on Saturday. What do you have to do to make sure this team is ready right from the tip?
Parkside is an unreal team. They're so hard to defend. They move and screen and move. I think from the tip, the biggest key is going to be keeping vision defensively, which is hard to do with all of their action. So if we can keep vision, then I think we can get to help side. And especially when Alyssa Nelson is driving, I mean, she's so tough. She does everything. I think we have to make her put it on the floor and then have help from there. But I think keeping that vision so that we're not giving up anything wide open, that's the biggest key. It's at least make them take tough shots because their offense is so good. We cannot give up wide open layups. We cannot give up wide open threes.